taken a fantastic win. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There's so many factors to worry about.
So Sebastian Vettel has won, followed by Mick Schumacher and me. So Mick tried and managed to ruin my day because I was in second. And so this was Melbourne, Australia. And it was the race that I was trying to be passive and not have any crashes. I did manage that slightly, but it also didn't really work that well due to the fact that still only 12 people actually finished the race. So that's kind of a bummer. So my passive race wasn't really that passive. But hey, at least 2 Germans managed to come first and second. Wait, that's the German flag, right? Or is it the... Yeah, I think it's... I am confusing myself. So for the race, I started at the back of the pack, which is why I was planning on being passive. Literally, I was in 20th and I was supposed to be in 22nd, but luckily the 2 people behind me had grid place penalties. But anyway, I'm just going to pause it. What happens is, I'm just going to quickly let everyone know that my team of me and Daniel Ricciardo has managed to win the Constructors' Championship before I get going on to the main thing. Which first, DNF is Yuki Tsunoda in lap 2, but I don't really cause this DNF. So he's driving and he goes off the road to try and overtake me, colliding with my side. Then he gets hit several times, but then gets going again. But then you can hear the whirring that's going on. So he just goes and parks. Next up we have Guan Yu Zhou on lap 6. So we just drive along with the 2 Astons and the 2 Alphas and a Haas, which I believe belongs to Mick Schumacher, I'm not sure. But anyway, first we have Antonio Giovinazzi, who has a spin. And then Zhou Guan Yu has an engine malfunction. The smoke starts steaming out, it stops. And that's because he's braking to park away. Next up we have Valtteri Bottas on lap 11. And this is another one that isn't really my fault. Like, these are all kind of just engine malfunctions. Like, we're driving along, he's driving quite well. Wait, hang on, this is the wrong lap. It should be this lap. Yeah, here. See? You just kind of had an engine malfunction. So these aren't really my fault. Like, Yuki Tsunoda kind of, due to the fact that I did swerve into him. But for both Valtteri and Zhou, they've both just been pure just random engine malfunctions. So that's not really something that I can really cause. Same is true for Zhou, but no, for Tsunoda, but I kind of pushed him into it. Next up is Nikita Mazepin on lap 15, which is where part 4 of the unsafety car occurs. So we see a bunch of random stuff going on, and he has to stop for an Aston, reverses to get going again, and then he gets hit, and then he just stands still, which allows the safety car to come in and hit him, which is also when he DNFs, right there. And due to the safety car being unsafe like usual, it causes Charles Leclerc here to get stuck. Like, you see Mazepin there and then he disappears, then as Charles tries to get away, Gasly comes in and ruins his day. And directly afterwards, Giuliano Lacey, who also got caught up in the bit of the carnage, just not the main unsafety car bit, also DNFs. Though his was because he was in the bit that caused the unsafety car to be unsafe. Next up is Carlos Sainz. This was my fault, and I dipped into my old mayhem parts, because I sweep him off the road, and he spins into Ocon, I think. No, George Russell. Therefore, causing him to lose his tyre to Russell. And then get stuck, causing another hold-up. The next DNF is George Russell. I just thought I'd show him getting past that. Because he actually managed just to get into first, following a person who almost got lapped, Lance Stroll. Anyway, the way that he goes out is, I can't remember actually DNFing him, but anyway, this is how he mainly DNFs. So basically what happens is this, and I didn't actually do that. I still don't actually know what happened, so I'm just going to change the angle so I can see it better. I remember now, so it's Sergio Perez here, next to me. He swerves onto the grass, and then spins, knocking Lewis Hamilton out into the grass, causing this hold-up. Which is also what causes George Russell to be damaged and DNF, but actually, I thought I'd show you the crash from a different angle, but anyway, yep, so they get a hold up, and then suddenly, bang, all these guys who are racing caused the massive damage. But, if we leave it running for a while, this is at double speed, by the way, so please do not blame me for just leaving this in for ad revenue or whatever it is. Eventually, yep, that's kind of strange, isn't it? But basically, if I just pause it again, is Nicholas Latifi coming through and spinning him around, which also causes Latifi to get an engine malfunction. A bit later, see, his engine starts going gravelly, he gets overtaken a bunch, and then he DNFs, which is kind of sad because I wanted him to be on the podium. But, sorry, I meant to... Latifi's DNF puts Russell's ready for us. So basically I'm defending from Mick Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel, who end up overtaking me and coming first and second. But yep, that's how Russell actually goes out. I go wide and I am forced to just take him out. Kind of, really. Because he's stuck over here. And then I'm wide, and because there's nowhere else I can go, Russell just gets taken out. And the final DNF of the race is Pierre Gasly, who was literally right behind where Russell was. You could see my curve there. But anyway, how he DNFs is right here. He follows Lewis, Fernando, and me because he's trying to also get onto the podium, but what he doesn't see coming is this. The spinning Fernando Alonso who takes him out, which is kind of sad for him, but then he is also the last DNF. And it's always going to be sad if you're the last DNF of a race that you're trying to win. I thought I'd put this in my cockpit cam, or the last lap of the race. And here I'm still defending off of Mick Schumacher, who already has taken off my wing. And so I'm racing against him, and because of my no wing situation, I'm struggling to turn. And then finally he overtakes me, meaning that I'm even less defenseless, even more defenseless, as I now have not got him as a barrier for those trying to get into first. So you can see Perez there. He comes up my inside and tries to block me. Luckily, I'm able to push through and keep going through, and then he overtakes me again. So it comes out my violent tactic, where I shove him onto the gravel, as we're quite far ahead of the next person. But due to that, he gets overtaken, and now the next person in line in fourth, I believe it was Hamilton, is now ready to try. And so if I just pull it out wide, you see him there, and you see me in front of him. And so for the last part of the race, he really tried to get past. Luckily, going on the outside of a corner is not very easy to do, especially if it's a wide one, which is why he ended up getting stuck and was also overtaken by Esteban Ocon and Max Verstappen. And Max Verstappen actually was in for quite some time of the race and ended up coming in at 5th, after also arriving in 10th at one point. But anyway, first Sebastian Vettel, second Mick Schumacher, third me, fourth Esteban Ocon, and fifth Max Verstappen. Yes, I think. Yep. And there we go. Bye.